Welcome back, dear viewers, on the channel. You are invincible. I hope you all are doing fantastic, and we are already into the second month of this fabulous year 2021. I hope the first month has gone brilliant for all of you, and it will be the same for the rest of the year. All of us are going to have magnanimous victories and lots of abundance and happiness. So today we have an esteemed guest who has an amazing background from the corporate world, but now has a mission of inspiring others and helping them find their path. I'd like to share a bit about herself. Her name is Gita Sethi. She has been a strategic advisor, life coach and mentor, design thinking expert, user experience practitioner, NLP practitioner, and trainer. She was born and brought up in Mumbai, and since last 10 years, she's been staying in Pune. She has over 25 years of work experience in the IT industry, plus 8 years of working in a US based company as the vice president and director for company global operations of the Vista India Private Limited. Her passion and mission is to help others to find their purpose in their lives. Gita also quotes Warren Buffett's quote, I quote, without passion, you don't have energy. Without energy, you have nothing. Without further ado, I would like to invite Gita Sethi, our guest, live with us on You Are Invincible.
Thank you, Abhishek, and a very good evening to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be on this platform and share my thoughts and experiences. And I'm sure all of you will have a wonderful time, as I will also, having a conversation with Abhishek. Thank you.
Absolutely, Gita. It's a privilege for us to have you on board with us. And good evening to you. It's going to be a fantastic conversation of lots of knowledge being imparted to us from you. And our viewers are definitely going to love this.
Sure.
So,
Thank you.
how's your first month been, Gita, of 2021?
So the year has started with a bang, if I can say, and I have been experiencing that this year has to be much much better than the previous year, and I will take all the learnings of the previous year and apply to this year. So it's like one chapter closed or one book completed, and now I start a new one. So for me, it's been another great experiences where I could spend some time which I wanted to spend with myself to know what I have done so far and what I would like to do and what are the resources I have to do it. So it is not just like I will think, oh, I should do this or I can do this. So exactly what I want to do instead of what I can do. So what exactly I want to do, and I started writing my story and also writing the content from the website. I started planning for goals. I started talking to my coaches and started sharing the setting goals template with them, had certain calls with them. So yeah, it's been a great start, and I'm really looking forward to the 11 months of 2021 now with great endeavor.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds like a very busy first month of the year. A lot of productivity and
Yes.
constructive thought
Yeah.
process.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Very. And yeah. And the other thing, like today also, when I was just thinking about what I have done, like, when 1 month gets over, I think, okay, what I have done in the previous month and what I would like to do the next month or what is in my plan. So another achievement, what I saw with myself is that I was able to sort of take my whole history of life, career wise, personal wise, and I could put that into a very plan. I didn't have to think of something which I didn't like it, which happened. So I just focused on the good memories, on the good situations, and all the achievements what I achieved. So yeah, I think I really felt really good about it.
That's really good, and I guess we all viewers we all should learn from it because all the happy memories and good memories that we can all encapsulate in our life. When we move
Hmm.
forward, we have more positivity, we have more optimism.
Here, I would like to add there's a lot of my NLP trainings, what I have done. So, when I'm even talking about it, or any of us are thinking about any of the good memory, it brings us into a very resourceful state.
Hmm.
So we are like empowered, and this helps us to do the next whatever we want to do. So we are able to make decisions, we are able to make plans, we are able to implement them, execute them. So that's what the whole process is, how you can always be in a very resourceful state. I'm sure it is not possible all the time. However, if you know the strategy behind it, like, if I do this, or if I talk to somebody, or I listen to certain songs or music, or, I just write down something. So, how does my internal state change? So, that is what really helps us to, move ahead all the time. Like, we can be consistent in that.
True, true. You're so right. We need to have something that really helps us to jump out of that comfort zone and come back to the vision board, that if we may call it so, that
Yes,
this is what I want to achieve, and
yes,
something to
yes,
invigorate us again from that slumber to get going again.
yes, yes. So it is like how you have snooze, or you put an alarm, so you should know, okay, now I'm in this mode. I need to be in a better mode. So, how can we do it? So I think that helps a lot.
Right, right. So, Geeta, I want to ask you, as you have achieved so many professional milestones, please tell our viewers the secret of your success. Nearly 25 years of corporate world. Wow.
Yes. So I have always, been able to understand or learn. I love learning. I love to know. However, not too much. Like, I wouldn't go too much into detail, but, just to know how I can do this. And I love to do things in a perfectionist way. So, and I have a sort of, to go step by step, and I will plan things.
Hmm.
However, I do take impromptu decisions, and I've done that several times, especially when I have joined organizations or I put in my papers. So that also has happened. And it's more of what I learn every day in my
Hmm.
life, with whatever I see, I hear, I feel, whatever I learn, then how do I apply it to myself? So it is not something I just do cut and paste from what, this is the method, so we just follow this step by step. So I experience it, I practice it. So this step by step procedure or process which I follow helps me to accomplish my goals. And I think my other, what I really like about myself is also that I'm very focused. So I'm
Hmm.
not easily distracted. And if I have decided that, this is how I'm going to do it, and this, yes, I will be adaptable. However, I'll keep my focus on, and I will be very clear on my purpose or reason why I'm doing this for my work. Very clear on that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And what are the, it won't be more about earning a designation or something that doesn't attract me. So what work I'm doing, I'm enjoying it, I'm learning in it, and the failures or the mistakes I do, how I can make them better. Like, I can come out of it. So all this process keeps on happening behind my mind, and that's how I keep on going on and on. Like, I'm a workaholic also. So yeah, so
I
that
thought
really,
as much.
yeah, in the, I think in one organization they used to call me also, like, I do the graveyard shift. So we used to have
Oh,
calls with the US in the evenings, and I would be in office till 11 past 11. And then even in my previous, where I worked as a co-founder and director, so yeah, it used to be late calls. Yeah, but
so
that's
so from
what
the
it's
looks of
all about.
so from the looks of it, it's very important to keep writing your objectives as you
Yes.
shared about where you want to go and the secret behind one of the secrets behind your success. Very important to jot down the details, maybe in detail, and then keep at it and also have a learning perspective and maybe keep tweaking those objectives as we keep
Yes.
moving along so that, as you rightly said, being adaptable also is so important.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I'm sure in the corporate world, many people may not have the similar the mindset or the wavelength, and you have to maneuver yourself.
Yeah, a lot. And I would also like to mention that my whole career has been go along with the tide. So when there was a dot
Mm,
com or there was a corporate crash, then I was there
right.
and I went through that. Then again, I started back in a dot com, which really went up like anything, and I was there. Then when
Mm,
the bubble burst, again I was there. Then I moved to the next level.
mm,
So it's
right.
it's learning, and yes, as you rightly said, I do have a habit of writing down a lot. Like even though if it is suppose I have to travel or something, I make list. I have to write it down, even though I may
Mm,
not see it or refer it. However, if I've written it, then I'm confident that I'll remember it. So that's been my memory recall happening.
right, right. This brings me another question, Geeta. When we speak about NLP,
Hmm.
do we actually focus on the aspect of training a mind to remember things and take it from there, or should we keep writing it and then force feed our mind to actually remember what we want to do? So, what I want to know is that do we give that kind of a weightage towards our own memory and mindset and give more power to it by remembering, envisioning things, or we keep writing it and it's like a spoon feeding to the mind and brain that okay, this is what I want, so this is how. So I mean, this is I'm sure because you're an NLP expert, so it just cropped up, so I thought I'll ask you.
Sure. Very interesting. So the way it works is we we start with first step is how we communicate with our own selves. Like when I'm
Mm,
like sort of doing a self talk, so I'm very careful in saying that I am a happy person, I'm a healthy person. So this is the communication what you're giving to your brain. That's the external communication and internal going on.
mm,
However, you want to achieve certain things. Yes, you can repeat to yourself, you can say it aloud to yourself,
mm,
and you could also start writing how you can achieve it. So, what are the steps you have to take to achieve your goal?
mm,
And
mm,
there is like that's exactly what I will be doing in the master class for setting up goals, like how we can create these goals in certain they have to be specific, measurable, they have to be achievable, and also they should be realistic and timed.
mm,
So like you can decide, like for for instance, like by this time I'll be able to achieve this step. So like for instance, I have decided that when I want to launch my website, so I have put that, and then I did reverse planning. When should I
mm,
finish the content, when I should do this. And this is the same methodology which I was using when I was doing my work. So while I was taking care of the project, so I knew, okay, this is the deliverable, these are the
mm,
resources I need, and how I can plan it in reverse to know when I have to complete certain things. So that's how I could keep a tab. And yes, writing and repeating to ourselves helps a lot. However, here I can suggest is we need to know what are the words we should use. In NLP, I
right.
learned a few words which we should, avoid using it, or we can make it much better. Whatever language we are
Right.
having a conversation, and even while writing. So you become more conscious, you become more aware
Mm, mm,
of what you are. And especially when I do this coaching, then in that you are able to understand what are your skills, what are your values, what are your beliefs. So you can use them to build on that. Instead of, and you can change them as well. So you have that flexibility. However, if you
Right.
know, okay, this is what I am, this is what my nature is, because each of us has a different nature. Our
Absolutely.
perceptions are different, everything is different.
Right.
So how can we find that out, from our own selves, and then work on that to make it much, much better, and then achieve those achievable goals. So that really
Right.
helps.
Right. Wow. It's like a journey in itself.
Yes, it's a amazing journey, and it's like every day is a new day. Earlier, I used to read about it. Now I believe it, and then now I feel about it. So, like every day for me, I wake up like, oh, today is this date. Earlier, it was only, oh, today is 3rd Feb. Now I know, okay, this
Right.
is a different than yesterday. So yeah, it's an amazing
So,
journey.
why don't you share with all of us about your journey, which is unique in its own way? A little bit about your journey, how it has been.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a long journey also. So
Yes.
I, as I passed my graduation in economics, I wanted to do my business management, and we had to, in those days, like this is exactly in 80s, when I had to do 2 years of work experience to get into a college for management. So I joined a stockbroker's office, and I started working there just to get experience through a reference.
Right.
And then I realized that, oh, the computers, that's how it started. And we had never learned about it, or it's totally unaware of that. So simultaneously I joined classes in the evenings. I started learning basic programming, COBOL and everything. And the next step happened is, while I was with them, I was about to complete my 2 years. Then I got an opportunity to work as a programmer for stock exchange consulting firm. So I
Okay.
was among the first, you can say, programmers who, wrote down the programs for Bombay Stock Exchange in those days.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And yeah, so that was like really, I landed up in the computers, what I really wanted to do. And
Right.
there I was programming. I was also implementing, those days, and also teaching the users how to use that application, because they had never thought, a computer can do this. Everything was handwritten.
Right.
So it was a
Right.
great challenge to go through that process to make them understand and keep on improving the program, because it was something new, never done before. So that
Right.
was a good beginning start for me in computers. However, I have this habit of, like, if I don't see any challenges, I need to move on to the next.
Okay.
That's my habit. I've clearly recognized. So I started getting
It's like
senior.
bring it on for you.
Yeah, it's like, there's nothing more to do. Everything is gone running on an autopilot mode. Neither I'm learning anything more, or not, I'm not applying anything more. So I need to go to the next level. So that's how,
Right.
those days, again, those were all monochrome monitors. We didn't have color and anything. And I noticed that my interest was more towards the front end. Like, I was very particular how this looks, and whatever, if I see a paper, or I was getting very keen to know how this is done. So I started learning publishing,
Okay.
and that was another great experience. I did about 3 4 years, and I got another great entry to work with an MNC, Barclays Bank, as a head of production. So that was really a big leap happening to me. And from there, I was the luckiest person, I think, who had internet on my desk the day it came to India.
Wow.
And yeah, and with that router, and I still can't forget that 15th August 1995 was the day.
Okay.
And as I was working with all different offices, like Hong Kong, Singapore, and also I had to be. So that's how my habit developed of being, time zone understanding. Okay,
Right.
this time
Right.
Singapore is there. Okay, US, London. So all that coordination. And I think before that internet started, I had gone and learned HTML. So I wanted to know how it
Wonderful.
happens in the background. Yeah, how it happens in the
Yes, yes.
background.
How the
How will
website
this
is
come?
made
Yeah,
through
how the
HTML.
website will done.
Yes.
And because of my so keen interest, I think I was helping everyone to learn MS Outlook, all everything. How to do
The entire MS
browsing
Office.
itself. Yeah, browsing itself was something you had to get trained. So all that was going on, and then that company was globally shut down. So that was another experience.
Hmm.
Then I went and did my certification of being a webmaster, where again I thought, let me try. I wanted to learn, Java, and all those words always excited me, like how it is.
Right. Right.
And then I learned about servers, back end, front end. Then again I realized, oh, for me, I'm still a front end person, not in the back end development. So I need to
Right.
do see what is happening, what is coming on the screen. I need to take care of that. So
Right.
then I was doing several projects. I instead set up a new center in Pune for
Mm-hmm.
the Webmaster Institute, which was another
Okay.
experience. And then that again happened that, okay, everything is working fine, no projects we were taking in Pune. So, okay, what next? So that's how again I came back to Bombay, and
Okay.
there I got a wonderful opportunity to work. Again, it was through my co-workers, colleagues. He had a huge .com company, and he said, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
why not you help me out in this?" So yeah, that's how I got into the real, a portal development, and that
Right.
led me to go to London for multilingual portals. I was
Mm-hmm.
there as so that's where I got the name user interface designer. In India, we didn't have
Right.
the name. We used to call them
Okay.
designer or webmaster and all. So
Mm.
when I still remember when I was you know going through the interview, and the person who was sitting in front of me, it was a data medics company. He was not
Mm-hmm.
aware what I do. He was just not aware. He was just
Okay.
so. And from there, the head of technology was taking my interview. And then when I told him what I do, how I do, and all that process and everything, so he told this person that she should first come to London,
Mm-hmm.
and then you send the rest of the team. She should be here
Oh,
first.
lovely. Okay.
And then within a week's time, I had to travel. And you know how it is, like on-site opportunity, and everybody's after
Yes.
you. Go, go! This
Yes.
is something very interesting. So that was an amazing step which happened. Yes,
And a
and
career
then
growth as well from that perspective.
amazing career growth. I could work with, they were developers from Paris, France, like all countries, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Korea, China. So
Hmm.
it was, and me being just the one UI designer person, it was like I was in both the sides. I was also on the testing side and also on the
Mm-hmm.
design side. So I
Wow.
was helping
Okay.
the developers. I was raising bugs to them. So yeah,
Okay.
it was very
That must
interesting.
have been exciting.
Very interesting. Everybody used to just like, you can do so much. So
Right.
that was another great achievement. Then once, yeah, that's where the .com bubble burst. So
Hmm.
yeah, and that's another experience of coming back to India. And those days, they used to ask us just write the resignation letter, and they close it. That's how things would happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Then again, I had to restart my career. I got a wonderful opportunity with 3i Infotech as a design manager, and wonderful team. I have been very lucky, really blessed to get a lovely team all every time wherever I've been. So that's what another 4 years. We really worked so much. We had a wonderful time. Got involved in pre-sales activities, marketing, everything. Like, it was a total corporate world
Right.
where I got involved even in the quality and the SEI, CMM levels. Amazing experience there.
Mm, mm.
And then next, I knew that I need to do some certification because I was a user interface expert. So
Right.
I did my course of certified usability analyst
Hmm.
with Human Factors International. And I was still doing the course, means it had not yet completed. So I decided to step out from 3i Infotech.
Hmm.
And again, when I just wanted a little break because I was working like round the clock,
Non-stop. Yes. Non-stop.
non-stop travel, everything. So then I was just had gone for my last uh, session with HFI, and then I came to know they have an opening for a product manager
Hmm.
for their usability product. So I applied and I got through. So that
Wow.
was another
Okay.
experience. Yeah. So that was another different experience, working with Human Factor International.
Yes.
And then I thought, okay, now I think I need to do on my own.
Okay.
So I started consulting on my own.
Wonderful.
Very good experience there also. Uh, Different projects I could do. I set up UI processes for different IT companies. I started giving a lot of user like design awareness sessions so that people could know, okay, this is something which is useful for software
Hmm.
development. So any
Hmm.
application to be built, you need a UI designer person there, and when they should get involved. So all that was going on.
Right. Right.
Then year 2008, one of my colleagues who had done the course with me in HFI, he reached out to me and said, why don't you come to Pune and you join the usability team in Wipro? I said, okay. Then I thought that's another different exposure because it's a service company.
Correct.
Service company is different. So, okay, that's how I came to Pune.
Wow.
And that was another great experience. I did so many new things, a lot of new things I could do there. And then I thought, okay, now I need to do something into a product company, which is, very specific product. So that's how I actually just found it on my own. I got that opportunity, which was again amazing. I was conducting a users conference and all that expertise, everything. And then by the time I realized, oh, I'm now 50 and I need to take a call whether I'm going to continue working like this or,
Right.
what else do I need to do. So I wanted to become an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And one of my very best friends, her husband wanted to set up a company in India. So
Hmm.
that's how we set up Pune. And yes, it was a great start from the scratch, from the registration of the company, everything from scratch was done. So that was again 8 years of a journey.
Mm.
Learned a lot, did a lot, achieved a lot, and then finally we had planned earlier also that within 7 years maybe we'll we can sell the company like. So
Okay.
that finally happened in the 8th year, and that's where I decided, okay, now it's done. Like my work is done. Again, it's gone on autopilot, and there's another company taking care. So I need to,
Right.
move out from there. Yeah, and then luckily, just my last day there was 31st July, and I think on 26th or 27th, I was talking to one of my associates, and then she mentioned about this course, NLP,
Okay. Okay.
and it was starting on 1st of August. It's like perfect
Okay.
timing. I said,
Perfect
okay,
timing.
done.
Yes.
And I wanted to learn. I was so desperate. As 8 years, I could not do any skill
Do
development,
something new. Right.
new. and I really, that was like perfectly for me to, move out of this corporate day-to-day operations and go back to managing the brain instead of,
Right.
managing people
Yes.
and resources.
Yes.
Yes, and since then it's been a wonderful journey. I did my masters, I did my train the trainer, and yeah, it's been absolutely wonderful. A total change of my career track.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from a corporate sector to something which is so different. I mean, we're just dealing with the brain, the consciousness. It's completely
Yes,
like a 360-degree change
yeah,
for you.
exactly. I suddenly realized, oh, there is consciousness, there is subconscious. Till then, I was always in work, work, work. I must have read about it, but it was not, not coming into my focus. Like, this is
Right,
something
right.
we can do.
I guess your life was just getting ready to get into the
Yes.
consciousness at this certain phase of your life, post the 7 or 8 years of the new entrepreneurship.
And then I thought this was like, and after a few months, this pandemic started. So
Yeah,
I could do a lot of training sessions from home. I didn't need to travel. I had traveled a lot. So it was like,
right.
be at
Now you
home,
could just rest. Yeah,
rest and learn. That's what I wanted to do.
right.
So yeah, it's been an
So
amazing job.
it's been a journey of so many ebbs and flows in your life. So what would you tell the viewers are the steps that one should take to achieve professional growth? Because you've seen so many amazing career growths, and then again, due to the bust or due to the company shutting down, you had to again start from scratch. Not scratch, but in
Right.
a different
Mm.
firm, build up that repertoire and that camaraderie with other colleagues, and then again go to the top, and then shift again. So,
Yeah.
what would you like to share with the viewers on that professional growth? How does one achieve it?
So we like the way I would take anything which is happening in my life as that there is something good behind it. There is a purpose behind it. And for several years, like even in school or college days, if anything would happen, like, I would say, there is some reason why this is happening. And I need to find the reason. I need to find the reason, or I need to just accept it and move to the next level. If I can't find the reason, I can't justify it why this is happening. So, like for instance, you go
Right.
for a admission in the college, you don't get it, and then you get frustrated. Oh, why not this? Why I wanted this college? So from then onwards, this was my what you can say thought process.
Hmm.
And when I started working, I would always question myself, like, on what stage I am right now. I'm in the learning stage,
Hmm.
or I'm, just, going into something where I can't see my growth. So where am I going? And what is
Right.
the next step? So for me, always it is like even day to day thinking, like, what is the next thing I'm going to do? Like, okay, like after this happens, then what is the next thing I have to do?
Hmm.
Besides that, it was more focused on that I should do something which I enjoy. So whether
True.
it was designing logos or doing any
Programming.
front end design development, setting up teams, putting up processes, and going for all these pre-sales meetings and getting projects and doing a lot of marketing as a design team. Also, we ourselves worked as a marketing team as well. Marketed our own
Hmm.
skills. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
keep that in mind, that how I can keep on learning more, can keep on getting more empowered.
Hmm.
And also, the focus was more that I should not look at what designation I'm getting, or, now it's 2 years, I should get a promotion, I should get a raise. So I think that
Hmm.
thought would not come to my mind. I was very clear on that. So there would be some reason for which I could continue growing. And then I
Hmm.
would see, okay, where it is going after this. What is the next level I can go to? And
Right.
as and when required, I would learn. attend classes, do different kind of trainings, just keep on growing in that way. And I never,
Right. I mean, one of
thought that,
the
okay, sorry.
yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
So, and the other point, what I would like to emphasize is that, we have this appraisal in our, corporate world. Every year we have
Correct.
appraisals. So we have to really sit down and do that in a very clear mind. Like, what have we done in this year? What
Mm,
do you want to do, and how can we achieve it? So that's where you really self analyze yourself. You sort of rate yourself, like, you're good, very good, where you need to improve. So that process every year, when I would do with my own self, and then with my reporting manager, and then I would do with my team, that helped me to
mm,
know, okay, I'm doing, I'm on the right track, or I need to,
mm, mm,
take a next step or go and learn some new skill. So
mm.
keeping in, yeah, so always trying to keep head above water, if I can say, just to see that
Right.
I should be able to sustain this whole thing, because there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of things happening. So how do we can, always know, okay, what is the best I can do?
Right, right. I hope viewers you were able to really get the pointers that Geeta shared right now about how you can achieve professional success. And very, very simple pointers. We just need to remember self-analyzing where you're going. And one of the most important and beautiful parts which I really liked is not to think about, okay, when do I get my promotion or when is the next raise? I've worked over here for 1 or 2 years. Most of the times
Mm.
that does happen with most of the people. But that's a beautiful way of working towards growing as a person as well as in the profession that one is. Because when you have your heart in it, automatically the growth will happen sooner or later. They would be like,
Yeah.
okay, you've done so well. Here it is. This is your promotion.
Yes,
So that's
yeah, you
wonderful, and
didn't,
that's
I never
exactly
had to,
yeah.
yeah, I never had to go up and ask, like, oh, when I'm going to get a raise, or what is the next designation, or something like that. And another thing I would like to add, which is my firm belief,
Yes,
I
please.
firmly believe that uh, God has a perfect project plan for everyone. At least for me, I know it does. So at what time, what should happen? And I, like, we used to do all those MPP project plans. So, this day, like, or, that is when that thought happened, or some incident happened which triggered off for me to take a decision. Okay, this is how I should do instead of doing this way, and this is something new I should do. So the project plan is so clear with the time and what activity or task I'm going to do or I'm supposed to do is very clear there. So I just have to
Right.
follow that. I should, and I used to love now also, they say that your conscious mind will observe with whatever is going in your mind. Like, my objective, suppose, is that I want to be healthy, or, so then you will see certain things which will relate to that, because you're so
Right.
focused. You will, the way mind works, that I understood in NLP, why it starts looking at those things which, you're looking for. And because you remove the rest of the clutter, and then you get that
True.
focus.
True. So important. Yeah.
Yeah, very important.
So how can one turn drawbacks into opportunities?
Yeah, drawbacks or the failures. Yeah, you have to
Yes.
learn how to hide them and do much, much more better and overcome them. You really have to
Mm,
um, step up, leap ahead, and suddenly take that leap, like, which you really have faith in it, that, I can do that. So you have to
mm,
do something really wonderful or amazing, which you could surprise yourself also. And
mm,
that's what I usually found, that if something went wrong, or, things just went wrong, or, not so good and all, I had to step down and say, I have to correct it. I have to find out how this is going wrong, and then
mm,
convert that. So it's like how there are few sayings which still remain with me, since childhood, is like, whenever you have to climb, so there are stones, suppose. So when there are stones, you convert them into steps and move ahead. This is something I
Beautiful.
remember I read
Wow.
somewhere.
That's so
And
beautiful. Yeah.
so I was like, okay, this happened. Okay, I'm going to convert this to a step to move into the next level. Whether I walk straight or whether I walk, to the next level above. So I should not just, oh, this happened and just sit down and go in the reverse. No, that I would not do it. So you have
I'm
to
gonna
convert the
remember that. Yeah.
opportunities. Yeah, you have to convert the opportunities what you get.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun actually. I really enjoyed all my ups and downs and blunders and achievements. However, I'm just keeping in mind all the good things.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the most crucial aspect. Yeah.
yeah.
So Geeta, how the next question I would like to know is how can one stay stable when things are not going good on the professional front? And you've faced quite a few at times. I mean, all of us do face it, but how did you manage and what do you advise the viewers?
So yeah, really very challenging question also. So the way I recall is how I used to, get frustrated, of course, and sometimes you wish that, oh, I can just walk out and, why I'm doing this or I'm not happy doing this. So I always had to find out, again, it was like, with the magnifying glass, that what good is going to come out of this? Or if I can correct, if, like people come and say that, oh, you've not done this good, or, this is not the way to do it. So you have to have patience, first of all, and you have to have a belief that you have done it well with
Right.
whatever you have. So, like for instance, I would say to myself that I have done my best with whatever resources I have. So, whether resources include my own mind or whatever I need for that work. So, whatever I have used it maximum, and this is what has come out of it. And yes, frustration. You have to keep on motivation. Very important. You have to. It's like you like if you see people like climbing up and then again coming pushed down and again going up. So that's step by step. You have to motivate
Keep at it.
yourself. Yeah, and also give incentives for your own self. Like I said, if I achieve this, this is what I'm going to do. That would be my self incentive. Like what will I,
Right.
okay, if I completed this and I suppose I got a achievement, or all that whatever hustle was going on settled. So what will I do then? Like I'll go and watch a movie, or I'll go out with friends, or something I'll do to come out of this zone.
Yeah, it's like a
So
reward that you give to yourself
yeah,
and the
yeah,
feel good
self,
factor which happens.
yeah, feel good factor. Yeah.
Wonderful. So next that I would like to ask you, Geeta, is what are some simple day-to-day habits what can use for success? Like few hacks or something simple that everyone can use.
So yes, I would definitely love to share. The amazing thing which I've been doing from last few months is gratitude. I always wanted to do it. I have started that, and my experience has been that in the beginning it was like maybe 2 or 3 points I could write down. After 2 3 weeks, I could write pages. I
Wow.
could just sit and write pages on that. So it was an amazing experience. And I found that was so good for me. It really helped me to come out of, all the situation wherever you are in. And earlier also, which I used to follow a lot was doing affirmations, which again I started now.
Okay.
Very strong affirmations, very clear. And I'm helping my coaches also. I'm sort of helping them to frame those affirmations where
Affirmations.
what you want, yes, what you want, how you can get it, and what would be the action. And the other main thing, what I'll is planning, of course, a night before. I need to know what are the main things I have to finish tomorrow. Like even while working full time, I had certain things like at night I would get up and keep a notebook or a pen and paper near my bed. So I suddenly got some idea. Okay, I'll just write down because next day morning, so many other things will be there on mind. So
Right.
I've just putting notes, and I think you also mentioned about vision boards. So that's one thing I keep on
Yes.
working regularly on. Yes, I have made that, and and every day I see, okay, I don't think much about the past, what happened, what didn't good
Mm,
happen, or
mm,
whatever, if there was some mistakes. Today, what I'm going to achieve, what is my today?
mm.
And there's something which I read was that which I repeat to myself, like yesterday was good, today is very, very good, and tomorrow shall be very, very good. So when you
Right.
say those words with
Mm,
like full feeling, you actually feel so empowered of having that yesterday was good, today
mm.
is very good, and tomorrow shall be very, very good.
Very, very good.
That really takes you to that, brings you, wakes you up, for
Right.
prepares you for today.
It actually pumps up your brain to start looking at things from a very different perspective. It
Yes.
actually, it brings you up from a life state where you might be feeling a little low
Mm.
or dull, and then when you actually have these affirmations being said to your own self, you automatically see within a few seconds or minutes, you
Yes.
start feeling
Change.
good about
Change
things. Yes,
happens.
the changes
Yeah.
happen.
And other things, what you have to find out what makes you happy or what is the most important thing in your life. So
Mm,
once you do this whole exercise, like I know that, okay, at this point of time I'm not feeling okay to go, or I know my body needs rest. So then I know I have
mm,
to take care of that first. But if I'm going to keep on having cups of tea and coffee and try to keep myself awake and be all
mm.
active, it will have an impact later on. So
For sure.
how do I find the trigger? How to find the
Mm,
trigger? What instead of having all these teas and coffees, how I can make feel better? Like for instance, if I can share, we had
yes,
this
sure.
word saying, no, that we all are leading a new normal life. Last year,
Yes. Yes.
that's what everybody was using those word. Oh, how is
The
your
new
new normal
normal.
life?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when this year started, I started saying that this is my new better life.
Nice.
So
New
it's
better
much better
life.
than last year. Yeah, I'm so happy to see the shops are open, children are playing, so just enjoy the present, be in the present mode.
Mm, wonderful. I mean, there's such a few simple things which makes a huge difference in our daily life and hence in the coming future as well,
Yes, it really helps a lot.
right? Yeah, I would like to ask the next question, which is, I'm sure it'll be very important for a lot of viewers. How important is the financial achievement in a person? How important is it that a person should be financially growing and achieving a lot many things? Is that really important?
Yes, it's definitely important. And but then how you think, like how much important is it? So whether the
Mm,
work you're doing, or if I can just say it in words, like suppose you get a very good job and they are paying you, like it's happened with me, like they offered me 3 to 4 times of what I was getting. And
okay.
what was the profile? So I had worked in that role. However, then I don't know, it was a wonderful everything organization. They had such they did a proper, what do you say, corporate process of hiring, and everything
Mm,
was very nice, very, everything was good looking, everything was very fine.
mm,
Somehow I thought, and I could see that I would just getting 4 times of salary what I was getting is an amazing number. Like suddenly you'll find
true,
per month you're going to get that much.
true.
Then I don't know for what reason, or somewhere it struck in my mind that I need to, I told them that, again, that was through a reference. So I had to be very careful. Like, so I told them that, can I just come for a day or two, like, at
Mm-hmm.
work,
Mm-hmm.
and then accept the appointment letter. Okay. Somehow I was not getting certain vibes or something like that was there.
Right. Right.
So then when I went first day, the first thing they asked me is that they gave me a list of people. And that was the time
Mm-hmm.
when literally you had to fire people. So they said, okay, these
Wow.
are the people, you need to fire them. And that's
On
how
your
my
first day of
first
work
day,
over there.
first work day. And then I sat down and I like, okay, just understanding what they're saying, how, what, and all.
Mm.
Then that same day, I told them I'll come for half day, not full day, because
Mm-hmm.
full day will be too much for me, no? So
Right.
while going home, I was just thinking, okay, so I'll get this salary, okay, and while going home every day from work, how will I feel if I have to continue doing
Mm.
this? What they say, what would
Mm.
will I get proper sleep at night? Will I be happy? Because that's not something I enjoy doing.
Right.
So then I had to, the next day again, I went there and I took the appointment letter with me and I kept it there in one of the drawers. And the third day, I just called them up and said, I won't be able to, take the offer. And at that time, I didn't have anything in my hand. I didn't have a job. It was a very crisis situation. So yes, money
Mm.
does matter, but then I think we have to balance, and what I always felt is that I don't need to splurge all the time. I don't need to
Mm.
do everything what others are doing. Like when I was in London and everybody was buying camcorders, mobiles, this, that, suddenly
Mm.
you get so much of bonds and you just want to. And I decided that I'm going to save. I'm not going to buy a
Mm.
mobile phone. I can use a landline, and once I go back to India, I'll be able to pay my bills,
Right.
use
Sensible.
myself. Yeah. So that's how I have saved money, and not getting worried, oh, how much salary is this person getting, how much I'm getting, is there a gap
Mm.
in between?
Mm. Mm.
So you do need money for your necessities and your comforts. Luxuries is where you can still take a decision how much you want to go there. You want to be at a
Right.
comfortable level, or you want to go overboard, and then one fine day. And in IT industry,
Go
there is
bankrupt.
no security.
True. True.
So, yeah, so I think that is what I can say for financial, like how I am managing now, also in that way.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're so right that at the end of it, if your basic necessities are being met, and if you can go a little further ahead and take care of, something more that you like is totally fine. But to be very frugal in spending so that you don't go overboard
Mhm.
and then you end up being having no money or being liable to a loan, which is not sensible. One has to be very sensible about the finances. And yes, in today's day and age, money is very important, but also very important is how and where do we spend it and for what.
Yes, for what? Yeah, and like if I can also share, when I did NLP, I didn't ask them what was the course fees. I decided,
Okay,
yes, I'll do it. I didn't ask them how
okay,
much, I didn't go and
yeah,
find what are they charging, what are other institutes or training, charging. I didn't check that.
right,
So that time, okay, I want to do this. Okay, I'll do this. And I
right.
thought, oh, this is the market rate. And I went ahead.
Mm, makes sense. I mean, for growth, definitely you can spend money. That's what
Yeah, so you
is very
save
clear.
and save. Yeah, and then like there will be a point in your life where you will need to spend more. There will be a requires, like, you need to spend more money. So how can you manage that situation? You can't always count everything, or how many hours
Yes,
of training, this and that. You don't can't be so calculative.
correct, correct. Makes sense, makes sense. So that brings us to our last question, Geeta. You have been closely associated with technology from the very beginning of your career. So, what
Right.
is the future of technology in 2021 and beyond from your point of view?
So I would just like to first share how Internet of Things, like I always think of the technology, what is coming future, and I'm always very anxious to know and
Right.
research and also do something on that. So it will be a situation where we can live in the way we are living now,
Mm-hmm.
and without, and there'll be so much of virtual, everything happening virtually.
Mm,
Everything, of course, has gone online. People will, even there won't be any product which is not sold online. So everything is going to go online, and
mm,
automation.
right.
Besides that, artificial intelligence, which is amazing, and the way it's
Yes, AI.
growing in leaps and bounds. Yeah, so that
Yes.
would really grow and grow into huge thing. And also, if there's one thought which comes to my mind, like, I always think, oh, what can I do next, or what do I expect next to happen in IT? Like
Right.
earlier, I would see, oh, there's a chip and they put it up, and then you can just walk through your door. You don't need to lock your door. You
Exactly.
can
Right.
open the car, and all that, all
Yes,
those
yes.
imagination
The
would come up.
sci-fi movies that they make and all
Yeah,
this.
the Matrix movie you watch. So
Yes.
it starts
Yeah.
building up. The visualization comes up.
Yes.
So a combination of all this, and of course the fastest internet, 5G,
Mm, right.
will really make us survive and really grow better.
Mm.
So that's
So,
what I'm looking for.
when we talk about the technology, I mean, it's beautiful. It's amazing that it's always used as something that one can grow along with for one's own prosperity. But at the same time, don't you feel that it's also going to result in a lot of unemployment because of the machines, the AI is going to take over.
Mhm.
So many people might end up losing their jobs, which is I mean, there are two ways about it. I mean, I love
Yes,
the technological aspect of it, and I'm very looking forward to a lot many things. And I'm a gizmo freak myself. Though, if you look at it from a different perspective, it's also it'll be amazing if we can, have the people still employed in some way. That'll be amazing. I don't know if that's a possibility.
there is a possibility. So the way the what we can say, the way it's growing, and it's growing leaps and bounds. So there's so
True.
much of things to be done, like whether it is research also. Like for instance, if we just take the what do you say, the current situation. So vaccination had to be done. So had to be
Yes.
developed, tested, and all that. So what the resources they needed were human resources.
True.
And if they need robots, then they would need humans to build those, whether they are
Correct.
systems. We have to be
Mm,
built, they have to be tested, they have to be implemented. You just can't courier a system and say, okay, you sit and use it and it will work. So
mm,
everything
mm,
will require human contact in that, or their intervention to make it much much better. It will all depend how we plan. Suppose like for
mm.
instance, farmers, I do understand, they will have to really come up with to adapt the technology,
Right.
and then see how their children, instead of just going to school and colleges, coming to cities and earning, how else they can set up their businesses there, instead of
Right.
everything moving towards the city. So that's the burden which has come on our cities. So how
Mm,
they can be more, what we say, develop businesses. So the more we grow in businesses, we become
mm,
self entrepreneurs. That's how we'll be able to give employment. For me, even at this point of time, if you're able to have a maid in the house, you're having a driver, or so you are giving employment. You are not
right.
just taking away employment. And then when you're
Mm, mm,
helping their kids to go to school to study, and if they want to set up a business, you help them.
mm,
So
mm.
that's how you are giving employment. So yeah, it is going to be not what we say easy thing to
One
do. Like,
side.
okay, yeah, it won't be. And in India, what I've found is that we need human people there, and we have. So it works
Lots of
both the way.
them.
Yeah, lots of it. So we can't just have a very isolated place or an office
Existence.
where
Yeah.
everything is yeah automated. It
Right.
can't happen. So we have to take
Right.
care of everyone.
Right. It's been wonderful having this conversation with you, Geeta. It's really amazing of understanding how technology meets the consciousness and how one can proceed eventually in a similar direction by keeping balance between the two of them. So,
Yeah.
from your perspective, what would your personal objectives be for 2021 when it comes to the mission that you have of guiding others and helping them to find their path? Would really please share with the audience and the viewers what your objectives would be in that realm.
So, yeah, it's a perfect question to ask in the second month of the year. So, I have made very clear goals. To begin with, I'm actually, done one webinar, which had a title called "Do We Have Choices?" And
Interesting.
similarly, I'm working on different topics. One of them means I'm just in that work mode right now. So, like, what is the difference between what I want and what I can versus that? So, it will be something which is going to be generic. So, these kind of webinar series is what I'm planning for this year. And an average, I would like to do one every month, depending
Wonderful.
on my bandwidth and how I'm able to reach out to people. It's again reaching out, like how many people can take learn from it in their own way.
Right. Right.
It's not something that this should be done like this, but how they can extract the points what they would be able to apply in their lives. So that is exactly what I'm looking forward to. And then, of course, my coaching, which is still continuing. I'll be working also for the leadership programs for the corporate world, developed now from scratch using NLP and setting up the goals and everything. So, and of course, I have another is that I'm a strategic advisor for a user
Right.
experience company in
Right.
so we're working on a what do you say and a new ideation B2C application for the new generation. So like you will have a lot of ideas and how we can using social media we can use that effectively. So that's again the beta release is in March end. So then after that
Wonderful.
again the marketing plan will happen. So yeah, so lots going on. And
That's fantastic.
yeah, it's great to start a year with all these thoughts in mind and working on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm really grateful and honored, Geeta, for you taking out time to be with us. And I'm sure the viewers have really, really acknowledged and understood what are the intricacies to live a balanced life when it comes to the corporate, then when it comes to changing careers, and then from a consciousness level as well. So, viewers, if you want to get in touch with Geeta Sethi, please connect with her on her email ID, which is there on the ticker. It's geeta@workofdesign.com, and her website is also in the works, which should be out very soon. In the interim period, you can get in touch with her on this email ID. I hope all of you have had a marvelous session with us today. Thank you so much, Geeta, for being with us. It has been a privilege and honor, and hope we can collaborate for your future projects as well.
Sure. Thank you very much, Abhishek. It's been a great opportunity. First of all, thanks for setting this up and putting up all the questions and answers. Where it's a good learning for me also. So it's been a great experience. And
That's
wishing you all a
very
very
humble of you.
thank you. Thank you. And I wish everyone a wonderful, wonderful year 2021.
Yes, it'll be fantastic for all of us. Thank you so much, Geeta.
Yes.
We'll
Thank
speak to
you.
you soon. Bye,
Sure.
viewers. Thank you so much from You Are Invincible, and
Thank
we'll be
you.
back again
Bye.
with another esteemed guest. Thank you. Thank you, Geeta ji.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.